All right. Mic test, mic test. Mic test, mic test. Is my mic working? Hello. Hello, hello. Oh, let me. Oh, okay, okay. Oh, why the YouTube bar doesn't show? Never mind. All right. That's good. It's working. That's good. It's working. Thank you. Oh, I was so scared just now. Suddenly, I didn't see the green bar jumping at the mic. All right. Okay. Hi, Lily. Hi, Hui Kwang. Hi, Kev. Hi, Kun Kun. All right. So, if you are here, just another short moment while waiting the rest to come in. So, right now, time is 8 p.m. Once again, thanks everyone for joining in tonight. So, I will be covering quite a bit of thing tonight. A lot of new companies that I never put much attention into. Just hearsay about it. So tonight I'll be sharing a bit of their business model, a bit of their products that I only discovered this last 1 week. So I don't know is Rupert here because I think one of the company is raised by Rupert if I'm not wrong. If I'm not wrong. Yep. So just to remind everyone, so if you have any companies that you like me to share about or just do some pre so-called learning about it, I always happy to go check out and go find out because like I find learning new things very interesting. Yep. Especially in terms of business model, how all these business model in then can translate into revenue. That's the thing you have to find out, right? How all these business models translate into revenue because in the end of the day we might not be the business owner, we might not be the one who generate the revenue, but we might be the investor if the company doing well, right? Yep. Okay, so right now time is 8:02. Yep. So in another 1 2 minute times I will start straight away. So hi Chu Yan. Yep. Hi Lily. All right. Okay. All right, so today is the last day of the month, 30th of September. So once again, yeah, tomorrow US government close shop. Yeah, we also will be talking about it, yeah, in a short while. So there's a consensus that haven't reached by both Democrat and Republican. So that's why the budget is not approved yet. So they might run into risk whereby they will close off the government early. Yeah, so I'll just share a bit of my point of view later on in like why all this happened. It's just a negotiation between the Democrats and Republican because they are talking about one of the items that they haven't reached a consensus yet, and that item is pretty much crucial to Mr. Trump or maybe Republican brand kind of thing. Yeah, so we'll talk about it in a short while. Okay. All right. So without further ado, let me just start the session proper for tonight. Okay. All right. Right. So right now time is 8:05. Welcome everyone. Welcome to our weekly WealthPulse every Tuesday 8 p.m. where we share market updates and also company analysis, especially for those companies who have earnings updates who like to go follow closely. So for those who have invested the company, I hope these sessions will bring you some ideas and updates of what the company doing, how a company doing, and what the company is. Or for those who haven't watched or haven't looked at all those companies, I hope this will give you some ideas of what this company and hopefully moving forward it will help you in your stock picking or your portfolio, anything that would work for you eventually in terms of like your wealth portfolio as a whole. All right, so one of the things that I believe in learning all this like company update or market updates or even company updates is all about helping us to understand and appreciate the world better, because in the end of the day all of these services and all these products that are run by companies, you eventually maybe become one of their so-called beneficiary, or maybe become their clients, or maybe you are the supplier, or maybe you work in the company itself. So all this learning will help us grow in a better person, better investors, and eventually I hope all this will bring value to your life, to your family. And if you find these sessions are very beneficial to you, I hope you guys do click likes. So if you haven't clicked likes, so pop up from a chat, click on the like button. Pop up from a chat, click on the like button, or else you can always click like at the end of the session. All right. And if you find this is good, in the midway, you can already share this YouTube link to your families, all right? So you can click share to your friends and family, or anybody who you thought might benefit from learning all this. Of course, if they are just in for the first time, you must share them some context. What are we doing? In a sense that like what I shared in the beginning, and let them sit through in a sense that maybe 10, 15 minutes to see, to feel, and to understand how we look at things. All right. So without further ado, let us go straight to the content for tonight. All right. All right. Okay. Just a moment. Yeah. So yes, those who this is the first time come in, welcome again. All right. Let me just do for a better view. Right. I think this is quite a good view right now. Ah, wait a minute. All right. So if you see, I'm looking at another way, right? Because I'm looking at a few things right here. All right. Just hmm. All right. I think it's this button. Okay. Wait a minute. Ah. Okay. All right. So welcome again to our WealthPulse weekly session. So tonight, we were really talking about this alarm that Warren Buffett have raised to us. So he didn't raise specifically for this time round, but Buffett there's this indicator that he follows, and this indicator are showing very alarming sign. And this alarming sign has appeared for several times, and this time round it appeared again. So let's later on I'll talk about this again. All right. And so since within a year, we have do some so-called like re-strategize, we do some changes from our content and from how we share. So since within a year, we are talking about a different company from NVIDIA, TSMC, or even Lululemon, or some of the companies that you may not have heard of, like Texas Pacific Land. So these are companies that we look into. And of course, in each session, we do share about the market updates, for example, when the interest rate will reduce, is there any warning signs, or for example unemployment rate and stuff like that. So we'll cover in each and every week. All right. So last week itself we talked about this 5 billion spark whereby Nvidia invests 5 billion into Intel, and we also shared why is this 5 billion? Is it significant compared to OpenAI and Nvidia partnership of 100 million, or even OpenAI with Oracle 200 billion? 5 billion seems nothing. So we also shared about that in the session last week. So if you have missed it, no problem. Just go to our YouTube channels. All right, in YouTube channel, you can just click on live to watch the full sessions that we shared across the WellPass session from 8 to 9 ish. All right, or else you just wait for the 1 2 days. You have so-called snippets or maybe more precise short videos to update about the content itself. So yeah, your choice. You can go to the full video. You go to live, or you just click on the videos that is post edit. All right. Okay, so just a quick update on the market right now. So right now, market turns from green to neutral. There's several things that are pushing to investor to be more rational. So I'll be sharing in a short while. But market is still at its so-called all-time high. It did come down a bit compared to last Tuesday, but right now we are still at the top of the market. All right. Okay. So, some market so-called earnings that's been announced like 2 weeks before, which is Micron, and we will be looking at this week. There's like companies like Nike, or even if you look at a company called Paychecks. So I'm not sure whether you have watched all these companies before, but these are the few companies that is more prominent and more investor will look at lah. And especially this week, Nike. All right. So Nike have quite a big or quite of huge problem within the organizations, and so much so that they have to rehire their old employee that is retired to come back to save Nike. All right. So if you know about it, we did talk about it in our last few session called Elliot Hill. So Elliot Hill is one of the so-called employee previously. The team hired him back to reform the company. All right. And one of the biggest mistake that the previous management have made is because is like they full on into like e-commerce mode, means they do all the direct selling themselves instead of reseller, and this hurt their market a bit, whereby the reseller sell other people's shoes but not Nike shoes, and they are wary on how Nike partnership as well. All right. Okay. So let's go to the first thing of the night itself. All right. So let me just address some of you guys. So you have like Diana, you have Ethan, you have Kevin. All right. So thanks Kevin for popping by and then just typing a hello. Yeah. So thanks Kevin. Kefeso. All right. So if you are just here, remember to hit likes and then yep. So 5 influencer got warning. So maybe just in the chat itself, just share me. Are you listening from Singapore or are you listening from Malaysia? So if you are Singapore, just type in SG. If you're from Malaysia, just type in MY. Right. So in Singapore, over the weeks or past 1 week, there's this big news that come out. I like to raise it here. So thanks, Kun. I don't know is this prominent in Malaysia, but this is very prominent in Singapore. So Diana or Jenny Ipu. Wow, thank you, Jenny Ipu. All right. So yep. So if you are from SG, this might be kind of news within the influencer circle because MES issue advisory letter to 5 content creators who provide financial advice. All right. When this news come out, a lot of financial content creators are being asked, "Hey, are you the one who received the advisory letter?" So from here, you see those who didn't receive advisory letter, they have done a video that said, "Hey, I'm not the one." So if you see some of the photos right here, right? So these are the people who didn't receive the letter. So we still don't know who are the 5 person who received the letter and on what basis that received the letter. So MAS just very vaguely said that who provide financial advice. Yeah, so they didn't share in any form of details what kind of financial advice and how this financial advice is being carried. So this is kind of like very vague right now lah. But this is not a punishment to like any financial content creator because it's just advisory letter. And in the end of the day, it's like they would like to do something to raise awareness. So the awareness they raise is like they provide guidelines. So here I will bring it up so that every one of us right here would understand what I'm doing right here, things that I also worry about, and things that I don't want you to fall into. For example, so I from here for the past like I think it's 3 months on YouTube, you have known that I have rarely thought about like things like FOMO. You buy now, if you don't buy now, you'll be losing. No. So all of it is like how to share with you information. So in the end of the day, you make informed decision. All right. So this is the point number 2. You make informed decision. And in the end of the day, we also talk about portfolio sizing, portfolio allocation. And of course, on top of it, to have this portfolio, we also talk about budgeting. So not to budget so-called extravagantly in your luxury life, right? So these are the things that MIS like provide guideline. And if we do recommend buy, sell, hold, whatever, right? We need a letter. So we didn't I intentionally not sharing what like yeah my actions or stuff like that is just sharing you the piece of information and what people are talking about. All right. So like as always, this is not a financial advice. Yeah. So do your own due diligence. If you follow, just give me a love right there. Just hit the love button. Love button. Do you see the love button? Yeah, love button. Hey, no one clicking a love button. Let me just click for myself. All right. Okay. Yep. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Yep. So, yep. So for like so-called like financial advisors or even like people who are from financial institutions, they will have some products or services they will provide. So for me, I'm not licensed. At current like I'm licensed previously, but there's old times where I'm in the financial institution. But right now, I'm not licensed, so I don't have product to sell you. So if I have product to sell you, I will share that. I have this so-called affiliate link. I use this platform. If you like it, just click on affiliate link. So hopefully, if you click it, you purchase it, or you do anything, I will get benefit from it lah. So recently, you see a lot of long bridge kind of long bridge securities that give out like account opening, like voucher and stuff like that. I also talking with the long bridge like person in charge lah. So hopefully later on, if you have chance, you like to get some more benefit from new brokers, haven't opened long bridge yet. Yeah, I'll share with you guys in next 1 2 weeks after I finalize some details with them. All right. Yep. So the purpose of sharing this news is just to reiterate again, uh, everyone, we have to take responsibility of our action. All right. So in the end of the day, if like we like to check like business viabilities for, so for example, are they licensed in Singapore? If they are licensed, how viable are their business? And yep, so the last thing I do right now is to be transparent on any form of compensation. So right now, until here, from beginning to now, there's no promotion, there's no product, it's just pure sharing. All right. Okay. So this is the big topic this week because a lot of like so-called uh, financial news, or even maybe sooner or later the content creator will come out with this topic again. Is market overheated? Because over the past 1-2 weeks we are talking about like things that are contract size or whatever deal size that's in billions. So if you have followed for the past few weeks, maybe type in the B, stand for billions. Like there's billions dollars like being shooting around in the sky. Yeah, billions dollar, just left, right, center. Okay. Yeah. So is market overheated? Let's listen to what are the some of the leaders are talking about. Yeah. So first of all, after the interest rate being reduced like last week, Jerome Powell have already said, so there's the irrational exuberance, reference to irrational exuberance by the Alan Greenspan. And right now, he's comparing this rally to the dot-com bubble. And yeah, so there's drove up the tech stock that despite some of the shaky finances, right? Some of the experts note that the AI infrastructure building out like driving the stock market higher is like what happened in the telco spending in the late 90s. All right. So we'll talk about this thing called dark fiber. Dark fiber. Also one of the things that I just learned like recently, dark fiber. So dark fiber is one of the things, or they term it or they name it in the telco days, all right, the internet days. All right. So I will talk about it in a short while. So so equity, so what Jerome Powell like specifically say is like equity prices are fairly highly valued. I don't know how fairly highly valued means. I just pick up the word highly valued. High value means high value, but why fairly highly valued? So is it fair or highly? So I'll just from the word he said, I just thought that he just trying to say highly valued, but instead of like spreading fears, he just add a fairly in front. Yeah, all right. So what he also shared that right now index is at record high and trading at unsustainable like so-called valuation. So this is what he said. All right. All right. And you also brought up this the piece of sharing previously. If you watch our previous sessions and you remember this, we are in AI bubble, whereby like one of the reporter or the interviewer asked like Sam Elman, do you think that we are in a bubble? He just said yes. All right. Are we in a phase where we are over excited about AI? Is like opinion is yes. So even this is the opinion he shared even before the OpenAI Oracle 300 billion, OpenAI Nvidia 100 billion deal. All right. So this piece of statement is before what he said. So if this is what he like before the OpenAI Oracle Nvidia deal, he already thought that we are in a phase whereby we are overexcited. So with the 300 and 100 billion deal, what do you think? Is it even exaggerated? If you think so, too, just type in a yes. All right. Yeah. So this is what happened in the market. Yeah. And if you know this CEO, Citadel, he's from like Citadel Securities, one of the financial institutions. So he also thought that right now is very obviously echo of dot-com bubble in this moment. All right. So some of the devil advocates out there, like for example from Barclays, he said, okay, so we have all these deals, we have 300 billion deals, 100 billion deals. What if there's constraints that would arise? So, for example, power constraint. So, we also talk about nuclear energy like last week, right? So, one of the constraints that might happen, which is power constraint, because all of this AI infrastructure will need a lot of energy. And all this energy must come from somewhere. It's either fuel, oil, any place. If all these like fuel, like clean energies is not there, and the energy become expensive, it will become unsustainable and too expensive to build all this AI infrastructure. All right. So if the model stop improving, for example, it might result in excess data center capacity. Means maybe Oracle built like billions of dollars of data centers, but in the end, actually, AI model become very effective, like DeepSeek. compared like AI, OpenAI need $100, DeepSeek just need $1. So why we spend money on $100? Why not just spend $1 on improving DeepSeek, right? So these are the devil advocate that come up, all right. So here they also recall back the dark fiber moment. Anyone here is from Cisco? So I have a friend from Cisco. I haven't like checked in. Hey, Cisco in 2000, is there this thing that happened? So what happened back then is because like internet is a things that happen like very prominently, but it's not as obvious right now in 2025. So 2000, yeah, internet is in the pre-day lah. So there's internet. So Cisco also put in a lot of like infrastructure, so-called like investment into building fiber. All right. So after the internet bubble burst, right, there's this dark fiber moment whereby there's a underutilization of infrastructure assets. So this is a thing whereby it happened back then. But of course, right now you know that internet, we cannot live without internet, and little internet have really changed our life, right, very dramatically or drastically. All right. So what Ken Griffin said right here is yes, AI definitely will change our life. AI will definitely like picking up steam and stuff like that. But so-called all these AI infrastructure companies model, there isn't a clear winner right now. So we don't know who is the winner. And if you bet on it, it might be dangerous out from what he shared in this interview. All right. So he raised again, investor need to be cautious. All right. Not to put into money that may like might drive you into this thing called dark fiber moment later on. All right. So if you follow Aaron, just type in the one. So these are the few prominent investor or the market leaders that talk about is market overvalue. All right. Okay, thank you, Celine. All right, so let's come to this. All right, so yes, there's this industry leader that talk about the AI investment. There's talk about like Fed. They talk about the equities is highly valued. But is there any basis or is there any measure that we can check to see whether are we really overvalued or is there things that we should be worried about? All right, so come to this. All right, so tonight this is the biggest topic of life. Buffett, there's this Buffett alarm that's keep ringing. That's you need to be aware, you need to be alarmed. All right, okay. So if you have followed for the past few sessions, right, you have seen I have been snapping this market valuations model for you guys to so-called take reference. All right. So for the past, I think 1 2 weeks before, or even 1 month before, I start snipping this image. All right. So there's like a few indicator right here. Price to sales model strongly overvalued. Price to earning model strongly overvalued. Mean reversion model strongly overvalued. And right now, Buffett indicator model also strongly overvalued. But in actual fact, these are already strongly overvalued for the past few weeks already lah. So you see that is like updated since 30th of June lah. All right. And just the interest rate model right now is like just overvalued, but it's all overvalued. And this Buffett indicator have break the previous high and right now at 200%. What is 200% mean? Later I'll talk about it. But it's a term whereby Buffett said right now is a level that we are playing with fire. So we just borrow Warren Buffett word. Okay, but let's come to this. What is this indicator or what is Buffett measuring? All right. So Buffett come with this thing called buff. So it's called not called Buffett indicator lah. So there's this interview whereby Buffett is being asked and he replied back. So what he is looking at right now. So I think if I'm not wrong, it's like in 2000, right? In 2000. So in 2000, he raised this thing called, hey, right now, market seems like a bit overvalued. And he shared like, how does he see overvalued? So what he takes is, he takes stock market cap divide by gross domestic product. All right. So what does this two figure means? All right. In simplified term is this. All right. So what is gross domestic product? You just take it as the full product and service value that the economy generate. So let's say the product and service in aggregate total value, the gross domestic product is at $100. $100. All right. The stock market cap, which is the overall stock market value, should be at $100. All right. So this is what Buffett said. So if it's $100 based on the $100 value created, it means fairly value. All right. So if you follow that, right, just type in a two. Just type in a two, right? So it's based on the overall gross domestic product. All right. And then you compare it with the total stock market value. Yeah. Thanks, Kev. Thanks, Kit. All right. Thanks, Kun Kun. All right. Yeah. So basically, the value, the market value should coincide with the gross domestic product. This is what Buffett said. And if the market value drop down to 70 to 80% compared to the gross domestic product, means hey, actually the economy generate more value than the stock market itself. And if that happen, actually it's a time to invest. All right. It's a time whereby he will look into the market and invest his dollar. So this is what he raised in 2000. All right. And 2001, Fortune article just published an article, and then in the end, people just take it as Buffett indicator. So this is how this Buffett indicator came about. All right. So then you look at what is the 200% and what happened right now. Okay. So let me just share my screen again. All right. So in this so-called website, right, you can just search the current market valuation. All right, you just provide all these statistics. I didn't run all these numbers. All right, so these are by the website. You can just search lah. So in this Buffett indicator, right, so he didn't draw like right now 60-70% like one straight line. So he just put up a historical trend line. All right, so historical trend line. Since the 2000, right, it just went up lah. So if you look at 2000, right, so the historical trend line is like around close to 100, so maybe 80, 90. So right now the historical trend line, it trend upward to 120%. And based on this 120%, right, he takes standard deviation. So it's one standard deviation above and two standard deviation above. And whenever there's two standard deviation above, right, market will pull back. So this is 2000 market pullback, right? This is like 2022-ish market pullback. So right now we jump back up to a two standard deviation again, right? And right now it's at 217, so-called like so 2.17 times compared to the GDP. All right. So if you follow that, just type in 3. Yeah, just type in so that I know that you are following. All right. So right now we are two standard deviation away, and right now market is super hot according to Buffett indicator. Right, according to Buffett indicator. Okay. So just to raise this like so-called things across so that you know that hey, there's another Buffett indicator to measure the market. Is it overvalued or is it too hot? All right. So according to Buffett indicator, yes, it is. Maybe not at the previous 2000, right? In the sense that 2000 you look at 70, 80 or maybe 100-ish or 100 above, right? Right now it's like 200-ish. Okay. Okay. Okay, so thanks like Louis, Lily, like Hui Kwang, Sydney. Okay, so let's come back to this. All right. So here, there's this like Buffett indicators that people like it. All right. So why people like it? Very straightforward. Okay. So it is very simple. It gives you a big picture. No, not it's not a company by company in the sense that it's just a macro overview or macro feeling on the general market valuations. It's not company specific. In some cases, where market is very hot, right, there are still companies that are undervalued. And maybe there's some like cases whereby market is very dead, right? There are some companies that are very overvalued. So this is not a company measure. This is an overall big picture measure. Okay. And it's just to give you a feeling whereby is there a macro risk that we need to like take note. And it's very easy to track and visualize. So that's why there's a lot of so-called like platform out there. For example, the capital market valuations, even group focus, there's all these measure right there. All right. But there's a flaw in this measure. There's two things. First thing, this doesn't account for interest rate. Means, for example, in low interest rate environment, right, a lot of time the equity value will go up. Why? Because low interest environment, people will not put money into bond. They will shift it to riskier assets to make the profit. All right. So you have some appreciation of price lah. per se. All right. Second thing is because they measure GDP, and this GDP is only pertains to local business value generation. But if you know, a lot of US company, they generate like so-called value outside of US. They have a lot of business outside of US. It's not considered under the GDP numbers, right? So this is a thing that may not capture. So that's why the the current market valuation, right? So what they do is they take a trend line. They take a trend line appreciation upward in that sense. All right. And of course, when Buffett used this, right, he didn't intend to use this as a timing tool in a sense that I use this, I look at like 2 times the like standard deviation, I'll sell it. So his intention is not looking at that. All right. So back then, his intention is just looking at maybe market entry, yeah, not market exit. All right. So if you follow Aaron, just type in number 1. Yeah. So this is Buffett indicator. It's not a so-called market timing tool, and when Buffett used this, right, it's more of timing entry rather than exit. Okay. Yeah. But this also let us know maybe if this is the time you like to take some entry, right? Maybe you take some cautious step, size a bit, don't oversize it. Yeah, so that later on if you have opportunity you can like add more. But right now maybe it's not a good time to add a lot. All right. So this is the first piece. Okay. Yeah. And maybe late I'll spend 1 minute of time to share this thing that I spent close to 15 minutes to understand. All right. But after I understand this thing, right, after 15 minutes, I felt that it's a waste of time. So do you like to spend 1 minute for me to share with you what is the thing that I learned and I thought it's a waste of time? If you're okay with the 1 minute, just type in 1. If you're not okay with the 1 minute, just type in 0, then I'll skip. Because I spent 15 minutes just to learn this thing, and then I said, what is this? Waste my time lah. Okay. Okay, so everyone, what you want to waste your 1 minute time? Okay, can let's waste this 1 minute time together so that we will not come to this again. All right. Yeah, you guys funny. Let's all right. So there's this indicator. Yep. So this is the indicator whereby I don't know who write it. I don't know. I just read it somewhere. And then I thought, hey, if there's a stock market valuation chart, right, that we can have, that we can know how to time our entry. Then I want to know. But he said that we might not able to have it until 2035. Right. I thought, hey, maybe he's too humble that in a sense that maybe we need time to reach that. Maybe we can reach by 2030 or maybe earlier. So let me share with you in the next 30-second time. This is a thing whereby I thought totally waste of time for my reading. All right. So there's this like market valuations called PE. All right. So price earning. So if you look at price earning, right, a lot of time is like historical price earning. Means like what happened from the previous PE, right? It doesn't measure the like the business moving forward. All right. So the historical PE doesn't show the potential of the company moving forward. All right. So this is the flaw of historical PE valuations. If you follow, just type in the 1. Right. So later on, people thought, hey, yeah, historical PE leh. It doesn't show is the company overvalued, undervalued because it's historical. We should be more forward looking. So we should look at forward PE. All right. Okay. All right. So yes, there's forward PE. But the problem with forward PE is this. The forward PE, it might be just forward PE for 1 year. All right. And a lot of time, companies that sign deal, right, or there's recurring, right, it's not just 1 year forward. They might have some deals or some like foreseeable revenue 2-3 years down the road, for example. So forward P is not forward looking enough, right? If you follow, just type in number 2. Forward P might not be forward looking enough. All right. Okay. So this is number 2. So then come to this slide. Then people talk about PE, right? You know, PE it depends on earnings. All right. So the problem with earnings is this. So earnings is not to say manipulate. Earnings can be adjusted because it's bottom line. So some of the times earnings might not be the best measure in the sense that some companies may report earnings earlier, some companies may report not so called like they can adjust the earning numbers in some sense lah. So for example, maybe there's some depreciations, they adjust the earnings, there's all sorts of things. So instead of like relying on 1 year earnings, right? So what people or what this do is they use trailing 10 years earning. Means he measured the previous 10 years, right? And then they take average. So they might have cyclical things that happen, right? So maybe that sometimes depreciation very a lot, but it doesn't reflect the real business because real business is based on cash flow. So that's why they take average 10 years earning. So they remove the cyclical manner. And then, oh, okay. So there's this like 𝐟𝐸𝐫𝐾 that use like the previous 10 years earning. So it will smoothen out per se. Okay, it makes sense. All right. So what if this one can forward 10-year PE? Right. So the 𝐟𝐸𝐾, right, is historical 10 years. If you follow just having 3. Right now it goes forward cap. All right. So in the article, right, he write forward realized cap. And I said, wow, okay, very advanced. What does it mean? Right. So what is this forward realized cap is this? So instead of look back, right, we look forward 10 years. So for example, right now is 2015, right? We forward 10 years means 2025. Right. So 2025 right now, right? We look at back 10 years at 2015, right? So from 2015 to 2025, already cover 10 years. Right? Already cover 10 years, 2015, 2025. So right now, we can understand 2015, the forward 10 years realized cap. I repeat, if you couldn't follow. So 2015, we can have the numbers of the forward 10 years until 2025 realized PE. So in other words, right now, I can only so-called get the figures from for 2015 earliest because right now it's 2025, right? 10 years before is 2015, right? So I can only draw the graph from 2015 and before. Right now is 2025. What for? I want to understand the 2015 numbers, 2015 PE. Okay, so I spent maybe just now, maybe all in all 2-3 minutes of your time on understanding this realized cap. So if you follow me and you think this is quite waste of time, just give me 0. Yeah, kind of waste of time. So everyone, we just waste a few minutes to understand this realized cap, which I find kind of pointless. For me, I don't know for you guys. For me, I felt kind of pointless. Why I want to understand 2015 valuation? I want to understand right now the valuation. Is this good or bad? Or over undervalue? Yeah. So sorry, Lily, for wasting your time. I don't know the rest. The rest just right now kind of ignore me already. So one of the things on YouTube, right, is like if I lost you for the past 1 minute, right, my YouTube is pointless. This suitable for people who believe that history will keep repeating itself. Yeah, but I don't need to like go find out 2015 the history repeat itself, right? I don't need to look back 2018 repeat itself, right? I want to know right now, does it repeat itself? So for example, the dark fiber moment, I want to understand or feel, is this a dark fiber moment right now? I don't need to know like 2000 right now. I don't know, you get what I mean, the fire journey. Yeah, it's like okay, all right. So let's go forward. Yeah, don't spend time on this anymore. All right. Past 3 to 5 years. Yeah, too long ago, maybe the past 3 to 5 years. Yeah. Yeah. So another big thing that will happen in the next few hours lah. Right now they are morning already ma. So 1st September is coming. So their so-called their budget is the spending is approved until 30th of September. And 1st October onwards, the budget is not approved yet. So there's a risk whereby the US will announce the shutdown again. All right. So everyone, if you are the first time like heard of government can shut down one man, if you're first time, just type in one. If you heard that many times already, just type in two. All right. So government stop doing work? Can government don't show up? Can government don't do his work? Can government just close shop and say, sorry, I'm not paid? You go solve your problem. I don't want to work. All right. So Yahoo GG first time, 𝐾𝐨𝐵 first time. Hey, Kev, really? First time? No lah. I think you heard quite a bit lah, quite a few times already lah. Yeah. So the last round or last what is it called? The government shutdown is 2018. All right. This is the last one. So right now it's 2025. And a lot of time is tied down with previously I thought is about the debt level of US. All right. So it's like wow, US is like $1 trillion debt. If they keep like running the government, they are not taking check on their spending, right? They just let their spending go rocket high, which is right now happening. So right now, I thought they have removed the debt ceiling, but they also have this government shutdown issue again. So I kind of like can't tie down my mind on this item. So what happened is this, all right? So yes, there's this budget they need to approve, but not approved yet. So there's this like discussion between Democrats and Republicans. They need to like so-called get a consensus to agree. Hey, right now, if you don't approve the bill, then the government would risk shutting down. All right. So this is really what happened, and then Donald Trump, as President Donald Trump, he will take this time to stir up something again. So he said, "Oh, if the budget is not approved, so there is like pressure coming up. So there are somebody that bound to be fired permanently. So he take this time, right, to say, so some non-essential federal worker means they are not in like fire brigade, they are not in some very essential item like custom or whatever, right? So if they are non-essential, maybe we should think about how to permanently fire them. All right. So if you think this is quite scary, just type in the one. Means the government job is no longer government. It's called 经犯. 经犯 means like you will not get fired lah. Yep. All right. So government job will not as stable. All right. All right. So all right. So Celine say no feeling already. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like drama again. Okay. Yep. So so shutdown will bound to happen because like there's this thing called continuing resolutions. They in short called CR. There's these continuing resolutions they need to keep approved so that they can continue to run the government. And just to raise this up, so let's say like today or maybe before 1st October, they suddenly sign the bill. Yep. This bill will only extend for another 1.5 months, if I'm not wrong. It's like until November. So November, they need to sign the bill again. So this will bound to happen if they didn't get consensus. All right. So if you follow, just type in one. So there's this thing. You say it's actually very simple, ma. So they just like sign. They say, all right, continuing resolutions. We need to run the government. We need to run the budget. We need to run all the agencies. Everyone just sign so that the government can work. As simple as that. All right. So what is stopping this between government or between Democrat and Republican that don't want to pass this thing? Yeah. So obviously, like regardless Democrat or Republican, right, government should still need to run, right? Okay. So there's this thing whereby the Democrat ask and Republican right now against it one. So if you remember Donald Trump and Donald Trump, right? He don't like this thing called Obamacare, which is the healthcare subsidies. If you remember, just type in the one. Yeah. Or Chinese say iron war. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's not. It's 铁饭碗, 不是金饭碗. Golden bowl is item one. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Dinali. Yeah. Yeah. So obviously, so-called the Republican have dropped these subsidies from their government bill, and they want this to add back in. The Democrats want this to add back in. So that's why there's this fight between Democrats and Republican. Yeah. So they are negotiating in. This is one of the things that they are negotiating. Mm. All right. And what's more than that is, Vice President, right? The younger guy, the JD Vance, right? He even said, we don't want to shut the government, but if Democrat refuse to pass this clean continuing resolution, means the CR, right? Yeah, this is what exactly will happen, means the government will shut down. And he pushed this back to Democrats, whereby Democrats, you need to bear the responsibilities. Okay. Yeah. So if you can feel that it's a fight between policies, yeah, just type in a two. It's a fight between the policies. Yeah. I think it's just government, like the politician fight lah. Okay, maybe I share this thing. All right, let me just share back the screen. Okay, so these are the few things that happened previously. So in the last 10 years, 2018, I think 2019 is the most recent one. So 2018, 2019. So between all these years, right? I thought it's because of the debt ceiling, so that's why they stopped the passing continuous resolution. But this time round, because there isn't a debt ceiling anymore, yeah, so they didn't set a debt ceiling anymore. So that's why you see the debt ceiling just keep the debt just shoot over the roof. All right. So the previous, like 2018 and 2019, right? Even though there's some government shutdown, right? It's just in a matters of days. The longer is like months. All right. Yeah. So this time round, this put a very big uncertainties to the market. So government shutdown, and more importantly, right? uh, I think this is just a few notes that I put out. All right. So more importantly, actually this Friday, there's this job numbers that need to be released, and these job numbers will decide whether the government or the Fed should reduce rate further. All right. So there's some important data that it should release, but all these data are the team that run it, right? The labor statistic team is deemed as non-essential. So if 1st October they didn't pass the bill and they drag it out, right, means by Friday the numbers will not be released. And if they need the numbers, right, they need to buy data somewhere. I don't know whether they will do it or not. All right. So they say don't need release now. Yeah. Yeah. So actually they will be bound to have some like interest rate adjustment like coming in the next a few months. So without these numbers, right, it'll become difficult. Yeah. So if the interest rate is not reduced, right? I don't know. Yeah, maybe market will have some volatility. Yep. So if you follow, Aaron just type in three, stand for this the public news that I shared. Yep. All right. Okay. Yep. And then I just briefly go through some of these like important or uh information may not be really directly affect our so-called investment because TikTok is not listed, and US have signed a TikTok deal without presence by the ByteDance. ByteDance is not there, but they signed this deal, 14 billion deal, whereby a few parties, Oracle, Silver Lake, and I think there's one Saudi funds that come in to take a share in TikTok, and the ByteDance would remain the initial like percentage or remain the percentage at 20%. Yeah, but ByteDance is not there to sign, and then they claim that the China government had approved this. So I don't know. I don't know if this will become another hoo-ha between US and China, but yeah, hopefully this is just one piece of news. Yeah, of the many news out there, and hopefully this will not affect the market. I don't know. Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. And when this news arrives, right? They I don't know why suddenly this come out in my feed lah. So the Czech vote are being like, Czech Republic is going for election. I think this weekend, third and fourth October, right? And then there's some TikTok very viral video that spread around that are shifting the so-called the power play lah. All right. So I guess this is also a reason why US want to take control of TikTok, because if they couldn't manage the algo right, what if there's something TikTok go viral right that couldn't control? Yeah, which is Trump don't like it one. Yeah. So but actually Trump is the beneficial of like the TikTok spread lah. I mean the regardless the content spread lah. Yeah. So don't know. I think one of the things whereby the government to take control is really misinformation. Yep. And all of this platform, right? They didn't guard the information per se. They will just let it spread. When it spread, right? Sometimes you cannot take back. Yeah. And when you take back, right? You see as government control. But in the end, like defeat the purpose. So yeah, this is the thing. Trump got Truth Social. Yep. So yeah. So I think last week I did talk about I already look at Alcon, right? But too bad I don't have time to look at so many things. So I will skip this one and then maybe produce another video, post session video on this Falcon update. All right. So, like what I've shared, like for the past few weeks, we have this WealthPulse private sessions that we talk about the companies that we look into, and then we did talk about like the companies like business fundamentals, how all these like the foundation of the companies, the growth prospect of the company, how the company look at how their project or product or services moving forward. So these are the things that we look at before we decide whether to invest in this company. So a lot of time when we look at companies, right? Or talk about companies, it's quite sensitive because in the day, whether I present it well or not is one thing. The perceiving value might be differ. So for example, maybe I'm very excited and people thought, oh, you're very excited, means it's good, then I should buy. But in the end of the day, actually excited is just mainly because the company have interesting business model, but it may not be sustainable, kind of thing. All right. So the people who perceive this might have different view. So that's why we like to guard it in a private session, in the sense that we like people who are really into talking about company, align with your values, and then understand what I share. In the end of the day, make your own conscious decision. If you follow, just type in number one. All right. So informed decision, like the beginning of sessions, I like people to make informed decision. All right. So, but I also like to share like in our WealthPulse community, what exactly that we talk about. All right. So in the sense that you understand where we're coming from, how it is like, and then in the end you decide whether you like to join our private community. All right. So today we will talk about this company called Dolby. All right. I don't know Rupert is here or not. I remember it might be Rupert, maybe Fire Journey or whoever who raised this before. I think there's two companies that are being raised, Dolby and GWL. Yeah. Is it like value investing kind? Yeah, it is. It is. Broad stroke, yes. All right, broad stroke, yes. All right. So I start off with Dolby, and then if Jabil is the company that you're interested, later I'll share. I'll ask, hey, is Jabil in a company interested? Then we can look Jabil in the next 1 2 months. My one is race. Okay, okay. Let me write down. Let me write down. Just before I forgot race. Okay, okay. Fire Journey mentioned race. So Fire Journey, make sure you come in the next few weeks I cannot promise you it will be definitely next week, because like later I will share about the changes as well. Yeah, what I'll be doing for the next quarter. Right. So today is the last quarter of the month. And yep, so this is the format that have changed. But let's go to the Dolby first. All right. So Dolby, if you say Dolby, right, the only things that recall in my mind is cinema, whereby there's this ball jumping around. If you have the same idea in your mind, just type in a one. Means you have this ball keep jumping around and say, like, hi Rupert. Hi Rupert. Yeah, the boy keep jumping around and say, it's all around you. That's the only things that I remember about Dolby. If you are the same, just type in one. If you're the same idea. Yeah. Hi, hi, Rupert. Yeah, everyone is greeting you. Okay, yeah. So this is the thing. I thought Dolby is just dead back then. All right, is the cinema. If you like to have a best audio quality, the cinema must use Dolby technologies. Like so-called the movie creator must use Dolby so that we can have the most realistic sound, like you are in the scene. So, for example, the Marvel movie, when the rocket or the bomb just shoot from left to right, you will hear zoom from your left to right kind of thing. Yeah. So this is what I understand about Dolby. All right. So if you like to watch this, like you can just later I'll share this like deck again. You can just watch this clip, but you also can understand from a creator point of view how Dolby have inspired creator to create a more realistic scene, more so-called like immersive feeling when they are so-called like watching movie, playing games, yeah, and stuff like that. All right. Okay, so Dolby started by this founder called Ray Dolby. He has passed, but he started this company in 1965. All right. A fun fact. All right. Although he started his company in London, right? Actually, he's an American, and he's from this state, right? Uh, the same as Nike founder. Nike founder start his company in this state. All right, or in this place, lah. How many of you know where is this place? Anyone know where does like Nike started from? Where they started? Their origin. And right now, Nike, their so-called main office is still there. Different from IMAX. Yeah, I think it's different from IMAX. Yeah, Dolby is different from IMAX. Yeah, I haven't compared like Dolby and IMAX yet. Garage. It's not like garage. It's like the place like which country, which state in US. All right. Don't know. All right. Yeah, just want to share like show off a bit my general knowledge lah. No, so like Dolby or this person is origin from this state called Portland, and this place called Oregon, Portland. So when I read, right, actually it's the same as Nike. Yep, but this is just fun fact lah. Huh? Oregon is not that. All right. Yep. So they started is, and in the beginning of the days, right? So his objective is really pure, very simple. When they do sound recording, back then, right, for movies, right, there's always background noise, background sound, kind of background noise. All right. So this background noise, right, if you are watching a movie, right, it's very annoying one. It's like it's behind. It's like it's very annoying, and it's yeah, people can accept it, but it's not. It doesn't feel well, right? So Dolby comes with technologies to silence off this. Means they have a cleaner voice. So this is how it all started. All right, and after which, other than the Dolby sound, right? So they also have Dolby Vision that we'll talk about. All right, so I always thought Dolby is just in cinema, but in actual fact, in a lot of our devices, right, they have like things that support Dolby kind of technologies, and and a lot of device they would buy this thing from Dolby to have this insert or provided in the device itself. So how many of you know that actually other than soundbar, TV will also have the Dolby technologies inside one? Means if your TV, right, doesn't have this Dolby technology inside, right, even you plug in your soundbar, right, you cannot play Dolby surround sound. Your TV need to have that, so that when they output to soundbar, right, your soundbar also have that like the technology, right, then only they can blast out in the Dolby Atmos kind of technology, the surround sound. Apple AirPod got or not? Yeah. uh AirPod AirPod, I would say AirPod, yes. Yeah. Initially, I don't know one until I read this, right? Is it? Oi, actually, it's in a lot of hardware, leh. Yeah, yeah. Dolby is hardware or software? All right. Dolby doesn't manufacture anything. Dolby doesn't manufacture anything. Dolby is just providing technologies. That's explained later on their margins. Guess what is their gross profit margin? Guess what is their gross profit margin? Right. I'd like to highlight again. I sound excited doesn't mean this is a good company to buy. We talk about it later on. Yeah. Wow. Hey, what you guys know one? 𝐿𝐸𝐿, 𝐿𝐸𝐿. Hey, don't go ChatGPT, ask let me show off a bit. Yep, it's about 90%. Their gross profit margin is above 90%. Crazy, crazy. Why? Yeah, like you guys, they are selling IP. They are doing licensing business. Yeah. So all the TVs, they could get royalties. Every TV that you sell, or every soundbar that you sell, every PC that you sell, there's Dolby power inside, right? They will get royalties. Yeah, like just know that, like, yeah, like okay. So if you don't know whether or not your phone have this, right? So for example, Apple iPhone, right? You go to your music, you click on setting, you go to music, right? They have this Dolby Atmos that you can switch on and switch off. So once you switch on, right, your speaker or your earpiece have this Dolby technology, right? Then only you can experience the Dolby Atmos kind of like technologies. Likewise, if you are on like Android phone, right? You go to there's this Dolby Atmos on your screen if you have this, or not, you can just go to like and you can choose Dolby Atmos for gaming as well. Yeah, this is for Android phone. Wow. If this is your first time looking at this, just type in number one. It's also my first time. I didn't know until I checked this company out. Yeah. So thanks, Rupert, for sharing me this company. That I learned something that is hidden behind the phone. Yeah, not just Nvidia, not just like TSMC or your Qualcomm or your ARM or your actually ARM is not in the device, it's just design. Yeah, Microns. Yeah, so yeah, first time. Louis, Sydney, PI, Diana. Thank you. I also first time. Yeah, thank you, Rupert. Yeah, so Rupert, you have raised a lot of companies, but I haven't have a chance to talk to you. I think you would know a lot more on all this because yeah, I really know nuts until I read into it lah. Yeah. So primarily there's this they have this IP licensing business. Yeah, there's this IP licensing business, and this is the two main technologies that they have: Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision. So Dolby Atmos is the audio one. Dolby Vision is the high DR HDR kind of piece of like for your phone, for gaming. It can be very the color contrast is strong. So that you can have best experience in and experience all these like digital like vision and products. All right, and they run the licensing method lah. All right. So how they run the licensing and how they make money. So there's these two players that they will talk to. First is the component manufacturer. Means like for example the chips, the CPUs and stuff like that, right? They need to insert this technology in. So they need to insert this into their hardware component. So when they sell the chip, right, it's include the Dolby technology in it. All right. So this is the first thing, right? So the chip manufacturer would pay a royalty to Dolby. So after the chip being sold to, right? So device maker. So for example, TV like Hisense, TV like TCL, TV like Samsung, when they integrate this chip into their TVs, right? The TV will based on the unit, they need to pay licensing as well. So do you see that? If you see they collect two times, just type in a one. This is what I perceive right now. So they are collecting licensing fee based on the chip maker and also a device maker. All right. So yeah. Okay. Later. All right. Okay. Let me just never mind. Did I have the breakdown? No, I don't have the breakdown. But never mind. Oh, let's go to this. Let's go to this. Maybe come back to here again. Yep. So So there's the upfront licensing fee and there's royalty fee. So how they make all those royalty fee, right? Hey, I didn't put in right here, but never mind. I just verbally explain. So it based on device per unit, and based on per unit, right? They will collect a licensing fee, all right, and royalty fee. Okay, let me just reshare this again. All right, so let's look at like their financials and more specifically into their revenue share. Okay, so if you look at their revenue share, you see total licensing revenue and product and service revenue. So product and service revenue, right, is mainly the cinema. So if you go to cinema, they have this surround sound wong 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 kind of thing, right? They are mainly like cinema so-called like revenue. So do you see that actually the cinema revenue doesn't do quite well, huh? And it's very small portion of their revenue. Most of their revenue is come from total licensing revenue, means all those like mobile device, broadcast device, PC device, all right? So all these device. And actually the so-called the better one, if you see right here, right, what is the growing one? Actually it's wait. CE revenue. I don't know what is the automotive one. Actually, the growing one is the automotive one, means the new business. But in their revenue history, right, if you look at this, right, how do you feel based on licensing? Like okay, annually 1B, 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 1B. Is it exciting to you? If it's exciting, just type in yes. If it's not exciting, just type in a no. Mm. Yeah, automotive is the car sound system. Yeah. So they just break into a new product segment, huh? Mm. I also wonder they got any competition. Yeah. But I haven't went to it yet. But in terms of sound technology, lah. All right. So 𝐿𝐿 say yes, Diana say okay. Yep. So it will depends on people. So 1 point something billion so-called like revenue, all right, doesn't grow. All right. And then the cinema segment also doesn't grow. Okay. But every single year, look at their cash flow from operation. 3 to, I will not take the 400, around 300 million to 400 million cash flow just come in. Remember, their profit margin, gross profit margin is 90 over percent. Their net profit margin is close to 20, right? So that's why it translates to cash. It translates to cash. Yeah, it translates into cash. Yeah. So that's why they go to payout lah. There's like cash from dividend and then they repurchase. So you see that they are doing these two things. Yeah, they are doing these two things. All right. Mm. So there's some concern that raised lah. So so right now the electronics is going down. So because in the day they make from electronics right? So there's electronics they're going down. Are they facing a headwind? If market is going down, people are not buying new device, then your revenue will get affected as well. All right. So they say that okay, yeah. So that, but yes, there's softness in mobile segment, but there's growth in the business as well. Yeah. So their shipment is still growing. Yep. Maybe I should let me see. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So there's like still the path to double digit growth. Yeah. But if you look at their business, right, it's not growing, huh? I don't know how they go to double digit growth. All right. And then yeah, there's ongoing concern with all these trade agreement. And then if there's opportunity to expand Dolby Visions, can they win the Chinese OEM? Right. So these are the things that they talk about. But yeah, but this is automotive. Yeah. So yeah, so yeah, I don't know lah. When I look at the numbers, right, double digit seems like too far away from me lah. But yeah. So if you get What I meant, just type in one. Yeah. And this is the share price for the past 5 years lah. So their high is like 2011, like $100. Right now is 72. Yeah. But you have seen that their cash generation is very strong. Cash generation very strong. High gross profit margin. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So yeah. So just now I showed the numbers, right? So I get the numbers from Physical AI. So if you guys like to sign up, look for me because I have the affiliate link. I can show you the affiliate link. Yeah. So it's a US dividend, or yeah. So it's a dividend stock, but it's a US stock that you need to pay like the 30% lah. Yeah. Yeah, so if the growth is not there, yeah, you are not looking for dividends, yeah, this might not be the company that you are interested in. But if you are looking into the dividends, you are looking at a stable business, you are looking at like it's a licensing business. This one 𝐿𝐿 also raised previously. We also talked about ARM, right? Licensing business. Like license here, license there, and then just collect money. Yeah, like gatekeeper. I gatekeep the cinema. I gatekeep your chip. I gatekeep your device. Yep. For dividend, just go Singapore lah. Yep. Okay. So I hope this session gives you some idea on how we share like the companies and how I usually talk about companies lah. So if you are interested, can always join us in this WealthPulse, and then yeah, it's 990 per month, and we will talk about other companies a lot more into like company numbers, in-depth analysis. So in our private community session later, I'll talk about Micron. Yeah. So Micron just released their announcement last week, and then Micron's their revenue just boom by 60% this year itself, right? So and the share price reflected lah, and then have Micron do Micron have anything to do with AI? We will share it, yeah, in our private community. So once again, thanks everyone for joining on YouTube. All right, so yeah, so tonight we have 40 each. So thanks for joining in. So if you'd like to join me in the public, so-called the private webhouse, this is the link. It's a there's a 1 month complimentary that you can enjoy. There's exclusive portion you can look at the historical recording, and yep, one part of the things we talk about is like ARM. Just want to talk about TPL, talk about AI chip war. Yep. So real fee equal to scam fee. All right. So let's stop right here. I think I overshot for like 20 minutes. So for Faro community, I hope you guys are okay with it. We'll go to our private session, to the Zoom session to talk about this like Micron. All right. So if you haven't like sign up, this is the link. You can just sign up, which is the click.google.com/join WP. And if you use it very well, and if you like it, you continue 1 month later, and with 990 fees. All right. Per month. All right. So if you break up to 4 weeks, right, it's less than $2 per month. And then if there's fifth week like this month, right, yeah, it's less than $2. It's just $1 plus. It's even cheaper than your coffee or your Starbucks coffee or whatever. Yeah, and then you get to have some glimpse on what we did lah. All right. Okay, let me just share this link. More share. Hey, where's my share? Okay, the copy link. All right. Okay, so for you guys, if you have this like subscription, you can just like click this link. I'll see you right there. Okay, or else, thanks again for joining me tonight. Really appreciate your time, and so-called share with your friends and family. So yeah, so continue to share with friends and family. If you like it, just let them know there's this like weekly WealthPulse session every Tuesday that I talk about stock, I talk about the market, what are the things that you should look at. For example, today we talk about the Buffett indicators. We also talk about some of the news about the TikTok being like so-called like uh, dissect, and there's some US investor coming to get the US TikTok business, right? No trade for pre-market for Dolby stock. Yeah, maybe they are not so popular. They're not so like tradable in some sense lah. Yeah, the information shared are very or more valuable. Thank you, Shi Leong. Thank you, Shi Leong. Yeah, I also learned a lot from Shi Leong. Yeah, so I think right now is a better period for you already, right? The mosquito season have like passed, right? No more mosquito already, right? Yeah. Thanks, Kun. Like the video and see you next week. All right, thank you, everyone. I'll see you there. I'll see the rest in like our private, so-called WealthPulse. Put your link, please. You mean this WealthPulse link? All right. So yeah. So if you would like to share this 1 month, goodwill.com/join-WP. Yeah. So this is the link whereby you can sign up the 1 month complimentary. All right. So see you guys at the other side. Yeah, just sign up. Okay, thank you, Kev. All right, so yeah, thank you, everyone. For those who are in Zoom, let's shift over. All right, yeah, thank you, thank you, good.